Hey, sorry, I have been crook as 10 bloody men since New Year's Eve. And no, not because I'd had a drink or any other substance for that matter. I thought I might have poisoned myself while I was playing around with my water experiments. That bloody wind's going to get annoying, I'm sure. It turns out that I didn't poison myself, but what I had managed to do somewhere along the line is put out a whole heap of little vertebra and shit in the top of my neck and down into my back. I knew I had a back issue, and I'd been putting off going to go to a masseuse and see if they could get it out. But this past week I have been really crook. Couldn't keep anything down. A headache that I just could not get rid of, and finally I lay down on something one day and felt a bit of a plug in my back and thought, oh, maybe I should go to a chiropractor. So that's where I went, off to a chiropractor. That was the day before yesterday. Yesterday I was a bit bloody sore, but didn't have the headache, which was great. And yesterday I had an important meeting down on the Gold Coast that I had to attend. I'll tell you a bit more about that a bit later on tonight. Anyway, word is I'm back on both legs and arms moving appropriately. I haven't got a headache, and I'm smiling again. But got to say, for the last 4 or 5 days, I've just been debilitated by this bloody thing. So I apologise to those of you if you were a bit worried about me, and no need to worry, things are all good, nobody's locked me up, life is going all right, at least so far today. What time is it? We're going to kick off, I guess we kicked off 2023 already, but we're going to kick off 2023 with tonight's Friday Night Free-for-All. Some big things happened today in Canberra. Unite in White got together for their January 6th day in Canberra. There were a number of events planned. It started off, I believe, at the Governor-General's, and the Galactic Larrikins were down there. We might see if we can't get them on for a bit of a chat and a bit of an update of how that all went. I'm trying to get a hold of Dan, veteran Dan from Canberra. He might pop on for a chat, and if he can't, then maybe I'll convince somebody else that was there who's reluctant to come on by herself, but we'll see what we can do. We'll get a bit more news about that. And of course, tomorrow, if you're in Brisbane, there's another Unite in White event. That's happening at the Inaugural Barracks tomorrow. I think it's at 10:30, but I will confirm that a little later on. Neville, just saying, mate, crook as 25 bloody men. I thought I'd poisoned myself, but I hadn't. Turns out I just put out a number of bones in the top of my neck and quite a few in the middle of my back, as it turned out, and my hips and somewhere else. Back was pretty much... well, it wasn't straight, put it that way. And I had this strange thing where I could push a vertebra in about, a centimetre or so in the top of my neck. So that convinced me to go to a chiropractor, and went and saw the chiropractor. After signing my life away in case he turned me into a paraplegic or worse, he managed to fix the headaches at least, and I'm able to keep food down because for the last week or so I've lost weight. Haven't been able to put anything in myself really. Have had no appetite whatsoever. Just a blinding headache and a great desire to keep my eyes closed so that the sunlight didn't irritate it. And I'm not usually one that suffers from migraines or things like that. So pretty happy that the chiropractor worked for me. Doesn't work for everybody, I understand that. And I have been to physios before about my back. I've had a few back issues. I was filming a TV commercial some years ago and broke the L1 vertebra in my back as we went over a wave. Well, not going over the wave, it was coming up the next one while I was still coming down in the air and hitting the boat while it was coming up the face of the next wave. My bum was coming down the other way and bang, broke the L1 vertebra. So I get a bit of pain in that area, but that's sort of expected. It doesn't usually give me headaches and make me throw up all day. So clearly that was a problem, and because I'd been screwing around with this water stuff, and it turns out that it's a bit toxic. Yes, Murray, love the idea. Iraq, not so bad indeed. In fact, in one of the towns I used to live in, I found a large Hawaiian man who was the local footy club masseuse, it turned out as well, but he had a home business. The best deep tissue massage I have ever had in my life. I pride myself on being able to put up with a reasonable amount of massage pain, if you like. And wow, he was great. Deep tissue, the way to go. So yeah, it's my internet is a bit sketchy. Yeah, I'm sitting in the backyard and we have really shit house reception here. And I'm just working off the phone at the moment, so do apologise. Starlink is in the background. Don't know why it didn't connect, actually. I might have to go and have a look at that. I have been moving it around the backyard, trying to get a bit better glance at the sky. I'm looking up to where it's sort of pointed. I don't know if I can show you. If you are thinking about getting Starlink, I'm plugged in at the moment, so I can't really go walking around, but you can see that there's a lot of palm trees in the back corner of that yard. And that down there is the remnants of a mouse trap I was trying to build that wasn't going to hurt anything. Up there are those palm trees, and at certain times of the day, from about now through until about 10 o'clock at night, Starlink for me gets intermittent service because some of the satellites drop below those palm tree heights, and the receiver can't pick them up. So that's part of the problem with Starlink where I am at the moment, and I've got those sorts of trees pretty much surrounding me here at home. It's a bit of a pain in the arse to put it up on the roof and then have to pull it down every time we go and hit on the road. So I'm just trying to find the best place in the yard to make it work, and clearly the place it's in isn't the best place in the yard to make it work. I hope your new year was a hell of a lot better than mine. So tonight I'll try and make that up for you a bit. Screen is totally black. Well, I don't know why, Cheryl, your screen is totally black. That's a bit weird. Don't know why that would be at all. If everybody's screen's totally black, that's a problem. If I look that way, does that help? I'm trying to move the phone around to where there might be a better reception. Also tonight, along with the crew from Canberra, a bit of an update on what's going on in the world there. A bit of news about the United in White for tomorrow. Thanks, Paul. Glad. Yours is fine too, Neville. Great. Cheryl's trolling. Good on you, Cheryl. Good on you, Cheryl. Should have known. Full of trolls. And thank you to the trolls who joined me while I was crook in the last week or so. On the odd occasion where I felt like getting on something and typing back, I've had a ball. You've cheered me up immensely. It has been real cool. Might be because you are in New Zealand. Maybe I'm not allowed to speak over there. Hey, speaking of New Zealand, I got through channels the other day that there is some interest in Voice of Freedom going to New Zealand and doing shows. All up for it. Very happy to come to New Zealand and do shows if that's what you want to do. Cherie at vofhq.com would be the lady to try and organise all that, and maybe we can do a week over there. I'm sure the Galactic Larrikins would love to come. I'm not sure that we're allowed out of the country, because of the, I don't know how it works in New Zealand. Certainly it works a lot differently than how I used to remember it. Oh, good. So, Tash, I'm hoping that's you saying all good for tonight, and that means that Dan will be on too. And I see the Galactic Larrikins have joined us. Would the Galactic Larrikins like to be on the program tonight as well, to give us a bit of an update of what they've done in Canberra today, been seen and how it all felt? Just give me a thumbs up or something, mate, if you're going to do that. And I'll make sure that you guys get the link. Also tonight, Chris from Starseeds and Patriots Down Under had a lot of reaction to Chris and Bob being on the show. Now, I put Chris and Bob together just before Christmas. They came on, and I think it would be safe to say they've hit it off like a house on fire. So they've been talking while I haven't been, and they've got their heads together. And apparently tonight they're going to blow us away with some stuff. So in tonight's Friday Night Free for All, Chris and Bob will be joining us. Chris from Starseeds and Patriots Down Under, and he has some interesting things to show us. If you're into pyramids, you're really going to enjoy that part of your show. Murray, oh, thank you, mate. You've noticed my glasses. Yes, I have new glasses, folks. I'm not completely sure now that I can see myself. There is this purple coating on them that I wasn't really aware of. These are transitions lenses because I am sick to death even though I needed new glasses anyway. I'm sick to death of walking into a shop and having my sunglasses on still and walking around like Elvis bloody Presley, because I forgot to bring my seeing eyes in. So I went and got a pair of Transitions, and they put this non-reflective coating on them, which apparently is purple. I've got to admit, I caught a bit of a look at myself yesterday in the mirror, and I thought, I look a bit like the $6 million man circa 1977 with his, big glasses on, and certainly not as fit or as strong. But anyway, there you go, psychedelic sunnies. That's the way I'm viewing them too. They were too bloody difficult to say no to, put it that way. It brings back the hippie era. That's sort of what somebody said to me too. Maybe that's where we're heading. Hey, I need a little bit of purple in my life. So yeah, thanks for noticing. I appreciate that. Somebody said, "Oh, it's a rock star look." It's not a bloody rock star look. If anything, it's a Dame Edna look in my mind. But anyway, we'll push on. It'll be a bit of fun. So yeah, that's the story. If you've only just come in, I've had a really bad neck and back issue for the last week or so. I haven't been able to keep anything down. Shocking headache, basically from the moment I opened my eyes to the moment I closed them again. I thought it was because I'd possibly poisoned myself from my little water experiments, which I will bring to you. In fact, tonight I might even show you the results of what is in tap water and what is in filtered tap water. We did a little bit of this with Guru on New Year's Eve. It's the only thing I've actually done. I did about 10 minutes with him before they shut me down. So we'll have to see what happens. They might stop me from showing you about the water, but put it this way. Do not drink tap water. Do not drink filtered tap water. Collect rainwater. Filter that, drink that. And I can explain to you why. Also, it seems like I've had one person come out of the woodwork and offer me a microscope and a centrifuge, which would be very good for separating the different ingredients and whatnot that I've caught in the sludges, if you want to call it that. I've also dried out a certain amount of that sludge and crushed it. It dries like mud and looks a lot like mud, but when you break it up, it is the finest dirt you have ever seen in your life. And you think it's dirt, but it's not dirt. Dirt doesn't get picked up in a magnet. So, and there's a lot of it, a staggering amount of it. So, rainwater, it appears, none of it. Now, we've had rain here for the last couple of days, and I have caught quite a lot of it, tested a lot of it. It seems to be the same, all comes up the same with a very small amount of minerals in it, which you'd kind of expect. It doesn't have any black shit in it. The black shit is what we're looking out for, the black shit is not good. It doesn't get caught in your filter. It is a nano-sized particle, and it is trapped in a water molecule. No, iron is red. So thanks, Agate Master. Yeah, there are a lot. The natural minerals do come up as a red or an orange or a yellow, and combined, it does, if you like, look like the outback red dirt. This is to be expected. It is natural minerals coming through the earth. A lot of the water is coming up through springs and all that sort of stuff, so it's got natural mineral in it. No, the stuff I'm interested in, more particularly, is the stuff that isn't red. The stuff that stands out as black or grey and is extremely fine. Unbelievably fine. Yeah, hi Anne. That's the stuff I'm interested in getting tested. So we got a bloke with a microscope and a centrifuge. I don't know that he's scientific though. So it might mean that we just break a lot of test tubes. Want to get this stuff tested. I mean, I don't need to prove that I don't need to get a scientist in a white coat to prove it's magnetic. I can show that to you. I have a lot of it. It is very, very, very easy to demonstrate how magnetic it is. And I will do that. Steel isn't red, no. Steel would come up as something different again, but steel is a produced product. Steel isn't natural. So heavy metals come up as black. Then there are other things on the colour grade. Green, for instance, when you start out the process, If you put an electrolyzer in the water and you start getting green tinges to the water, that's really bad. That's arsenic and, really bad poisons and that sort of shit. I haven't seen any of that in any of the water I've tested. So, that's one thing, I guess. The worst water, I suppose I did see it in one water, and that was the San Pellegrino. So, yeah, you have to be a little bit careful about that. Yeah, it breaks up when I question the narrative, isn't that the truth? We're working on that this year, folks. And in part, that's what your memberships will go to help doing if we get enough of you to join up as members. Aside from your membership money going to help us get on the road, stay on the road, put fuel in the vans and keep us going to your place so that we can bring a My Place to your place or a show to your place. Maybe you want to learn a bit about common law from Magna Carta 1215, have a Fitz show, whatever you would like, we are going to bring it to you. We're also going to bring a few things you probably weren't expecting. So this year is going to be big, but we can only do it with your support, and that's why memberships are going to be important. Now, our memberships are 100% transparent, and I'll bring you up to speed more about how our memberships are going to be viewed and looked after by some people in the near future. And that membership money will go to keeping us on the road and making sure that we can get the message out and try and open as many eyes as possible in the near future. We will have some help doing that, but substantially we need the people's help to do it. So our membership started like $1.25 a week, and there is no paywall. One of the stipulations when all this started and people wanted to talk about doing this kind of thing, a lot of people wanted me to put the show behind a paywall. So, everybody pays $4 a month and they can come and see it. I refuse to do that. There are people who cannot afford $4 a month. I know. I'm one of them mostly. And would I invest $4 a month in me at the moment? If I didn't have $4 a month, probably not. That doesn't mean that I should miss out on the information, or you should miss out on the information. So I refuse to put anything behind a paywall when it comes to any intel I get or any insights I have or any bloody comment I make. I refuse to put that behind a paywall. So our memberships aren't to go and make me rich behind a paywall or to buy me a house or any other bloody thing. They are simply to make sure we've got fuel, food, and potentially a roof over our head on nights where we can't get a tent up or whatever. I know we are trying to get a motorhome together. If we get a huge influx of memberships and for some reason are able to go and buy a motorhome, that's what will happen with it, because we need to get our gear protected and all that sort of stuff on the road. In fact, I've spent today doing just that, protecting all the new gear that we've got coming online. And very shortly, we'll be heading to Canberra to catch up with the Galactic Larrikins, where we're going to learn how to use that gear. J1 and 1, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And Happy New Year to you. Good to have you back. Hope it all went well. Hope you had a better start to it than I did. So that's the deal with that. We've got some brand new equipment. We'll take you through that equipment once we've figured it out and turned it on and made it work, and then we can show you it. And it means that we can basically bring a multiple camera TV show to your place anytime, anywhere, with the use of a generator, which I still haven't got yet. We can stop on the side of the road and put on a show there. It's not about having a reason to put the show on outside of a Magna Carta 1215 or a My Place show. As we travel, and I've travelled these highways a lot in the last 2 years, there are people camped up in places all over on the side of the road. There are people up along the Bruce Highway, up the other side of Gympie, and before you get to Rockhampton. There are other people down in the Gold Coast hinterland camped around down through there, all living off grid. And there is a community there. There might be 30, 40 vans plus people hanging out, and they are a community. Well, they're the kind of places we want to visit. And if they're not powered, then obviously we've got to bring a generator. But yeah, we're very keen to come and visit and to show people what this kind of life can be about. If you're going to live off-grid, certainly we're looking at developing some programming along those lines for people who want to get off-grid or want to get away in a caravan. And of course, when we hit the road, if you've got a caravan or a motorhome or something and you want to come on the road with us, love to have you. We just need to get a bit of an idea of numbers, because we will be stopping at caravan parks around the place at various different times. And if there's going to be 30 of us turning up, we better let them know. But yeah, that's the plan. We're going to develop a community that travels, but everywhere it stops, it leaves a My Place community, and it leaves it better than we found it, hopefully, with inspiration and ways to grow the community, ways to become bigger, help others, and in turn help each other in greater communities, your next door neighbours, your ones down the road, the next state over, the next country over. It starts at home, folks. It's all got to start at home. And I can't have you all here to my home. Well, it's not even my home. I can't have you here to where we rent a couple of rooms. But I can come to your place and we can put on a show. And if you've got a bit of talent, get ready, because the Voice of Freedom talent show is coming your way. I don't know what we're going to have as a prize. Might be a trip to Canberra so that you can go and play some protest songs across the lake to the Governor-General with Dan and the crew down there. Not such a bad idea. We might work on that. A tour, we'll call it. We can stop in a few different places. I don't know. We'll figure out something. But yeah, if you've got a talent, don't care if it's telling jokes, playing the spoons, playing the guitar, singing a song. If you're a songwriter and you're playing your own music, then we are particularly interested, and we will help. Murray, farting isn't a talent. Well, it is a talent, but not one I don't think we can use unless you're planning on donning the green suit and bringing out the talcum powder. There'll be those amongst us who get that joke. Anyway, I am talking a bit long. I only just wanted to let you know that tonight we will be doing another Friday night free-for-all. I am back on two legs, and you're a legend in your own lunchbox, Murray. Good on you, brother. So yeah, another Friday night free-for-all tonight, and it should be pretty interesting. Going to have a chat, as I say, with the guys from Canberra today. We will have the Galactic Larrikins on as well, and Chris and Bob. Two more unlikely blokes getting together and becoming mates on Voice of Freedom you would not likely find. But tonight we are going to get great expressions of... thanks, Murray. Oh, wow, goal. That's huge. Thank you. Tonight we are going to get some magnificent insights into how complete strangers who are separated by great distance can develop friendship that will lead to community. And tonight I'm very excited to have them on. I think they're very excited to be on. And coming along with it, there is going to be an interesting chat about pyramids and a few other things. You know, he says looking longingly towards the heavens, space, or is it? Some of the questions we may or may not discuss tonight, but that's all coming up. So 6:30 Queensland time, 7:30 if you're on daylight savings time, and if you're in South Australia, I think you're half an hour ahead of us. If you're in Western Australia, I think you're 2 hours behind us. And Northern Territory, I'm not completely sure where you guys are at the moment. You might be half an hour behind us, I think. I don't know why I think that, but I've got a sneaking suspicion you're half an hour behind Queensland. So anyway, it's all screwed up this time of the year. Love to have you on board tonight if you can do it. Yes, the show will be on Rumble tonight. I will have a chat. I will have a chat with the boys about what they're going to talk about. We might just do a quick tease on YouTube and then switch over to a Rumble channel. I haven't spoken to Ricardo because I have been crook this last week or so. I'll send him an email. He did say that he was going to come on in the first week of January, and I haven't contacted him, so I'll send an email and see if he can come on in the second week of January, and we'll see what happens. He might have a bit of intel. Thank you, Margot. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. It's amazing what happens when you let a man bend you around like a pretzel. Entanglements? I have no entanglements. Well, unless my beard's entangled. Haven't eaten much today, so hopefully there's nothing caught in the beard. That could be good. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I hope your Friday is kicking along nicely. There might be a beer in it for you at the end of the day. Fingers crossed for you. And we'll be back 6:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and look forward to having your company then. Be safe on the roads. It's that time of the afternoon where there are a ton of dickheads.